Let's take a look at the weird scenes surrounding Super Bowl 58. Start with one that is so obvious, but maybe a lot of people don't know about. So we have three fans, right? Three young guys, relatively, I think 36, 37, and 38, who froze to death, right? Outside the home of another alleged, quote unquote, friend. Right? While this guy is actually in the house, these men somehow are outside, dying, freezing to death. Very unfortunate. I heard about it and I actually could not believe what I was hearing. Listen to the broadcast. You take a listen to this yourself and tell me if it makes sense to you, because it sure don't make any sense to me.
Week ago.
Police in Missouri are trying to figure out what happened in a Kansas City backyard. Are you fascinated with the story?
This is a crazy story.
This is something weird. I don't know. Three men were found dead in a backyard after gathering to watch a football game.
Good Day Wake Up anchor Dan Bowens has more on this mysterious case. And Dan, not only because the bodies were found there, but because someone was inside the house for a couple of days leading up to this,
for
right?
a couple of days, and he said, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why those folks are in my backyard, but they are his friends. We do know that. This is a strange case we've been monitoring for a few days. And this morning, as the Kansas City Chiefs are preparing for their big AFC Championship game, police in the city are investigating the mysterious deaths of three fans. The case now drawing national attention and a lot of scrutiny because there are plenty of questions. Now, here's how this all unfolded. About 2 weeks ago, those three fans gathered at the Kansas City home of their friend Jordan Willis on January 7th. This was the final game of the regular season and the last time they would be seen alive. A full 2 days after that game, David Harrington, Ricky Johnson, and Clayton McGreeny were found frozen to death in the backyard of their friend Jordan Willis's home. When police approached Mr. Willis about the bodies, he claimed to have no idea. When pressed, he said he recalled seeing them leave through the front door at around midnight and doesn't know why they ended up in his backyard. Willis told investigators he was sleeping all of Monday. He was sleeping, and he didn't check the backyard. The trio was found Tuesday, January 9th, after Clayton McGeeney's fiancée requested a welfare check. She says she texted Willis when McGeeney didn't return home, but Willis says he didn't receive any text messages at all. Questions there. Willis's lawyer says his client is distraught after the deaths of his own friends.
He slept most of the morning on Monday. He got up, and at some point he relocated to the bedroom. He got up on Tuesday morning. He works from home. He had no reason to go in the backyard.
And you can see why there are so many questions here, because these explanations are just not holding up with grieving family members who want answers that quite simply make more sense.
Now you heard that for yourself. Clearly, there's something very fishy about this whole story. In the baffling case, Clayton McGinney, 36, David Harrington, 37, and Ricky Johnson, 38, were found dead and frozen solid in the backyard of their friend Jordan Willis's house on January 9th, 2 days after the group had supposedly left after watching a Kansas City Chiefs game on January 7th. Right? Now, look at the ages, 36, 37, 38, right? Now we know in the occult, well, I know 3 is supposedly a magical number for them. So it's 3 guys, all in their 30s, in consecutive order, ascending order, 36, 37, 38. Now that is just a lot of coincidences. And me personally, I don't believe in coincidences, right? First of all, anytime I've had a gathering with friends or at somebody's house, the house of a friend that we know, whatever the case is, when everybody goes their separate ways, when we get home, we always text each other. That's how me and my friends do it. I don't know how anybody else does it, but especially if you've had a night of drinking, whatever the case is, you know, people were not entirely sober, right? When you get where you're going, everybody texts. Like sometimes you might get home, pass out, and forget. And then in the morning, the first thing you do is check your phone or call your friends up, make sure everybody got home safe. That's how we have always done it. And now, like I said, I'm talking about me and my friends. I don't know how everybody else does it, but this just sounds crazy as hell. 2 days, you ain't check up on your friends to see, if they got home safe, if they okay. I don't know. That it just sounds weird, all right? Now, how many of you paid attention to the anchor, the female news anchor? She was in all red, right? Now, we've heard about the lady in red a long time ago. And the place we heard it from was the Matrix. So, fast forward to the Super Bowl. Here you have Alicia Keys in all red, red piano, right? Now, Alicia Keys is part of the entertainment industry, right? A big part. She's been around a while. Usher is too. You'll notice he's in all white. Where else did we hear about these color coordinations? From the Bible. Now, I know a lot of people discount the Bible. Whatever your take is, we are told about the woman that appears in purple and scarlet and she's adorned in precious stones is not Alicia Keys right now in this frame, in this still you're looking at, completely covered in stones and adorned in scarlet. Usher's in all white, right? It's a sign of purity, supposedly. But who else disguised themselves in all white, or an angel of light, quote unquote? Lucifer. Now, I know you might be saying to yourself, man, that sounds like a stretch, but bear with me, right? Bear with me because it's going to make sense. Because the more you look at these things, the more the story seems to line up. Now, am I saying this is exactly what happened? I don't know. I don't know the inner workings of the entertainment industry any better than you do. But it's an awful coincidence, wouldn't you say, that the anchor, right, in all red, for some unknown reason, right, not really, I guess, appropriate for announcing the death of 3 men, right, who got frozen to death. Maybe a ice blue would have been better. I'm just saying, who knows, right? But that's that. Now, as I said, we heard about it before, the lady in red. Now, this is the particular lady in red that I was referring to, right? Now, The Matrix came out in, what was it, 99? So, yeah, 25 years ago. It's a long time. And you were told that that was a code. Not in so many words, but you were given the inclination that if you see this lady in red, you should watch out, right? Take note. What did Morpheus say to him? He said, were you listening to me, or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? And Neo's like sort of confused, and he's like, yeah, a little bit bashful. He's like, well, yeah, I was kind of checking out. Yeah, check her out again. Turned out to be an agent, right? So if you see a lady in red, there is something that you should be looking out for. Keep that in mind. How many of you caught this? For some reason, I took a picture of this, and I wasn't really sure why at the time I took it, right? Because you can't really see Usher. It's shot from overhead, essentially, right? Overhead and up front. But then I looked at it on my phone, and I was like, that looks a bit weird. Let me put it on the laptop, blow it up, and see what I look like. Here's an eye here, nose here, a mouth, horn, right? And this sort of distorted face. What does that look like to you? Just, am I reaching? I mean, I'm like Chappelle. I'm a conspiracy theorist to a point. But then when I see things starting to line up, I have to ask myself the honest questions, because that looks like some sort of demonic entity in that flame of fire, which, again, he's in all white. What is the purpose of this exactly? Right? And there's two basically exits off this thing. I don't know who else caught it, but I saw it and I was like, yo, this is crazy. And look how it just formed, right? It was like a big ball of fire and then it formed into a face. And then they made sure they took this shot of it. I didn't produce this. They shot it like this so you could see this. And we know about Usher and his sordid history with Diddy, Justin Bieber, etc. Right? We know that the traumas that Cassie spoke of being under Diddy, right? Usher came up under him. Questions abound. So that was something else weird that I saw, right? So right after the red with Alicia Keys, the piano, she had that long, super long cape. This was the next image that caught my eye. So right after the Super Bowl is over, we have this. Doc Brandon from none other than Joe Biden himself, from his account, just like we drew it up. Now, what conclusions are you supposed to draw from this? Just, being completely honest. If you see something like this and you've heard people talk about rigging in sports for specific purposes, right? Whether it's a political agenda, a financial agenda, whatever it is, what were you supposed to think, right? That it was rigged, right? Because who's the most prominent figure as a part of that team now? All people were talking about was Taylor Swift. Let's be completely honest. And her so-called relationship with Kelsey. Most of the focus was on them. Ice Spice happened to be up there and a few others. So to me, it seems that there's more going on than the average person is aware of, right? You have to be either one of the people in the know, or you have to be initiated in some sort of mystery school for you to figure out what exactly is being told, what exactly is going on. But the video I uploaded previous to this, or prior to this, had Bubba Smith talking about rigging, and that was since Super Bowl III, Colts and Jets. How can you tell him any different? He was there on the field. And as far as he's concerned, the quarterback threw the game. He said, you speak to the quarterback, have a couple people probably in on it, drop passes here and there, make it look legit. It's easy enough. Yet another weird thing surrounding Super Bowl 58. But there's more. So apparently, Ye made an appearance with this Jesus mask. I guess that's what. It's just the easiest way to refer to what it is that he's wearing. Now, people have said that in his new music, he has claimed that he's the new Jesus. I have not heard the track, so I cannot comment. Although from an artist perspective, he might feel like because he has spoken up, he has been persecuted by a lot of people, especially by the entertainment industry, kind of blackballed, blacklisted. And I suspect the reason for the mask is because he has constantly been followed around by paparazzi. Right? Now, people are saying that he's been taken out, he's been replaced, all these different things. He doesn't look like the Ye he was before. Well, the Ye from before didn't have that much weight on him. I mean, putting on a considerable amount of weight does change your features, right? Your face gets more chunky, your body gets more chunky. So it looks like he has put on a lot of weight. From the year we know back, when he went to interrupt Taylor Swift, which coincidentally I heard she had him booted from the stadium. I don't know if there's any validity to that, because I think if that had happened, he would have went on a rant about it. So I don't know if that happened or not. As for him being blasphemous for wearing this, I don't know anything about this guy apart from what he says. When he's, saying what he has to say, making his rants, so I cannot really comment one way or another. I know he says he's a believer. That's where his faith is at. So everything else, you have to take it with a grain of salt, right? If he actually comes out and says something, then, you make a judgment call there. But what is also interesting about Ye is this next picture. So as you can see, he has also appeared with the woman in red. Now, Ye himself has been in the industry for a long time, so I'm pretty sure he's familiar with, everything it is that they allegedly are being accused of through various truther communities and, online. But this to me was just another part of him either knowing things or putting things out there, signaling certain things, or it's the same as before. If you see the lady in red, what did it pertain to with regards to the Matrix, right? The lady in red is an agent, right? A lot of these people, they have people placed in their lives, that somehow they end up meeting them, getting close to them, being in relationships with them. So you never know. She could be a handler, or Ye could just be playing off of that. It's one of the two. I don't know which for sure, but it has to be one of them. It's either she was placed there and he knows it, or she was placed there and he doesn't know. In the first scenario, he would obviously use it to his advantage. So I hope it's the prior, because then, at least he would know what he's doing. Now, here's the cherry on top of this crazy ice cream sundae. February 14th, Valentine's Day, which I do not celebrate, which is known for what? Right? A lot of red. Red coding, red coloring, red signaling. There happens to be a shooting right after the parade, right, to celebrate the Kansas City Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. The suspect taken into custody, or one of them, is this man right here. What is he wearing? A bright red hoodie. Now you would think, like, you going out to do some dirt, right? Red is not the color that you're gonna be wearing, right? Black, right? Camo maybe, but red? Isn't that like way too obvious? And it doesn't matter that you're in a parade where everybody is in red. If you're amongst people and you try to flee, you're too noticeable, right? So this is apparently one of the suspects. But there's more. Now, this is the guy who allegedly, wrestled one of the one of the perps to the ground, right? Knocked the pistol either out of his hand or out of his jacket. So he's making a statement. Now this person right next to him, what color is she wearing? Pray tell. Red jacket. Now again, I said I know, right? The Kansas City Chiefs, right? The predominant color is red. But we had the reporter before this all went down in all red, right? We had Alicia Keys. I don't know if you saw the still of the three guys, right? The picture of everybody in red. then you have the reporter, then the perp, then this guy who is accompanied by this woman who is, I assume, his girlfriend or something. All right, but you see the breaking news headline: 1 dead, 29 injured. I heard there was like 8 children that had to be treated at the area hospital. So check this out. This is at the hospital, mind you. Check it out. Now, ain't this a coinky dink? Ain't this a coinky dink? She's also in red. Really?
12 patients that we have treated, 11 of which are children with 9 gunshot wounds. None of those patients, all of those patients we expect to have a full recovery.
At least. So, once again, like I said, there was color coding all over this Super Bowl 58. Now, the red is usually for blood, right? That's apparently what it's supposed to stand for. And as far as I can see, everybody was on code from the very beginning to the end. Now, are these people in on it specifically? Who knows? I don't know. But the coincidences pile up, right? And at some point you have to say, okay, this can't be just coincidence. Everybody cannot be on code to wear, like, what business really would this woman in the hospital have to wear this red jacket to come out and make this statement? Right? Knowing that people have passed away, been taken out as a result of gun violence. Is this really the color that you want to go with? Maybe black, mourn for the loss? No? Okay. I don't buy it. I don't buy into the fact that this is all coincidence. And like I said, the media, they put their own spin on things for their own reasons. You had the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. They have a parade. There you have some sort of mass casualty event, right? Well, not mass casualty, but mass shooting event, right? Like 20-something people injured. One young lady lost her life, which is so unfortunate. But these are some very weird things surrounding this Super Bowl, and I don't know if people really paid attention to it, but I did. Forget all the, the ads and all this other stuff, but if you looked at everything before and during and after these guys won, it is extremely and highly suspicious, right? But that's entertainment, right? Anyways, I think I've made this video long enough. I could keep on talking and drawing references to other such events, but within the music industry especially, yeah, you look out for that red, or those artists that have been in the bloodbath. Yeah, it's something to really keep your eyes open to. Until next time, be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, drop me a comment if you feel like. And I'm out. Peace.